Hello there. This is Terry Britton, and I'm doing a little series of videos showing how Voicemeeter can be used along with the Cantabile software, which I have running here, as a host for your VST plugins used as an insert. And if you don't know what an insert means, it's a feature of the Pro version. It's not available in the regular, but it's a feature of the Pro version of Voicemeeter. And down here at the bottom, if you ever wondered what these patch inserts were, they literally send the signal before it hits the fader. They send it out to the host that has your plugins with your effects, and then the host processes them and sends them back still before the fader, and then the fader fades the resulting signals. Okay, so we're going to go into how this is done right now. So the first thing, of course, is that you'll want to have all of your software. So we have Voicemeeter Banana. You want to go get that, and I'll have all these links in the show notes. And you'll have Cantabile, which is at cantabilesoftware.com, and just go to the download page and get the stable build. This has all versions of Cantabile in one installer, and when you start running it, you simply select the Lite version. Okay, we'll also go ahead and go get these two free plugins so you have something to play with. Frontier is a limiter that allows you to get as loud as you want when you're recording or streaming, without it ever overloading the mic. Okay, so that's useful. And just for fun, proto verb from Yuhi is a great little reverb unit that we'll also take a look at. Okay. All right, so let's go back here and we'll call up Cantabile. Before we go installing any inserts, if I do right now, the sound will cut out because it'll be sending to the host and there won't be anything coming back from the host. As you see one channel just cut out. So let's go ahead and load Cantabile, and I'll show you all the details of how that's set up. So the very first thing you have to do in here and with any host is you've got to go set up what the audio engine is. So go to Options from Tools and Audio Engine. You go to ASIO, Voicemeeter, Insert, Virtual ASIO. This is what connects you to the insert portion of Voicemeeter. Okay, it's a really cool feature. I haven't seen it anywhere else. Okay, so then you go to your audio ports. And I should say that when you start things up, you always want to start Cantabile first and then run Voicemeeter Pro. Always in that order. Always Cantabile first, so that you can get the correct sync with all of the ASIO interfaces and the computer and everything. Then start up Voicemeeter. Alrighty, and so we're going to start up with adding a stereo input port. So we give it a name. Let's see, microphone. Insert in. And you have to assign these. So you double click the add button. And this has already got insert number 1 left. Insert number 1 is the microphone, first slider. And then you go here, hit add, and do insert number 1 right. Okay, now we have to add a output to send it back to Voicemeeter. So we'll call it microphone 1 return. And again, have to assign them. Just as easy. Hit add, insert number 1 left, already selected, and add, and we have insert number 1 right. There we go. And I should point out that in Voicemeeter we have, well, let me get to that. I'll get to that in a second. All right, now let's go to the plugin options. You've installed your plugins in some folder, so you add that. You hit add and put in the folder. So you direct to the folder. It'll be in program files, VST plugins normally, or VST plugins in the 32-bit versions will be program files x86. And then you close this out, and you go up to Tools, and you do a scan right here. Scan plugins, probably full, and do a scan, and all your plugins will show up. So now let's go ahead and add an object, a plugin, and we'll go get Frontier first. And you can just type up here actually, and the first letters, and it'll show up. Okay, so now we have Frontier in here. We have to add a root, so stereo out, and then you click here where the destination is, and we're going output port microphone 1 return. And in input ports, we need to get our microphone 1 insert in, and we're sending that out to Frontier. So you see how it's all connected? Now you see the lights lighting up. Now just to go ahead and get this done, we'll add the other plugin, which was proto verb, P-R-O, there we are, and add a root, stereo out, and output port. And I'm just going to send this signal right to proto verb. So you see how I'm chaining them together this way. So now you see how a chain is done. Okay, so I'm going to bypass the reverb for now, but we have signals all working, but until we actually bring in Voicemeeter, we don't hear any result. So let's go ahead and do that. So here we click this one. Oh, that's pretty loud. Well, let's remedy that before we even load it in. So let's go to open this up, and I have to have a match Voicemeeter preset made, which basically just turns down the volume so that it doesn't blast us. Okay, so let's go back to this and start it up. Bing and bing. There we are. So now we're going through the whole system. Okay, so as you can see, the meters are moving, gain reduction is happening. You won't be, unless I shout, wah! Yeah, you can't hear anything. So this is controlling me raising my voice and stuff like that. Okay, so now let's go ahead and bring in the proto verb. Pick out a interesting thing, a cathedral, and I'll stop bypassing it, and now we're in the cathedral. So there you have it. And you can change the wet and dry and all that kind of stuff, and because we have a limiter going into it, we won't overload the reverb inputs and stuff like that. Okay, so we can bypass that here like that, or you can bypass that as I showed you by clicking this little arrow right next to the thing and bypass that. Okay, so just to point out one thing, in case you're totally brand new to Voicemeeter, which a few people watching this might be, before you even get started, you have to pick out an A1 input. So the best to pick is to have an ASIO interface, a hardware interface, and select it as the A1. And then your latency or your delay will always follow the buffer settings of the ASIO device, and that you'll get the best results. Otherwise, set it up to some other input that you have available, okay? And but that's kind of an important feature that you have that. Also, you notice I have B2 because that's what's going into OBS. That's the output coming out of this final slider here. That's what's being recorded. And A3 for me, in my case, is going to my monitors, to my in-ear monitors, so I can hear what's going on and make sure stuff's actually turning on and off and stuff. Okay, So that's what's happening in that end of things. Okay, so let's see if I left anything out. I don't think so. I think we're pretty much through this. Yes, we are. Okay, now one way that you can test that your loop is working, and besides just playing with the effects, is like I was showing you, you have this bypass, but you also have these check boxes which show it's enabled. And if I turn this off right now, nothing would be sent back as a return through the output port. So if I uncheck that, there you go. As you see, it went silent. And that's a great way to test to make sure your loop through is working correctly. Because if you uncheck this, then nothing's coming back from Cantabile, and you know that everything is working right. Okay, so that's the main stuff I wanted you to see. And what can I say? I guess we're all set with this video. All right. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments. I usually respond the same day as I get a question, and we'll make sure you're up and working, okay? And watch for the other videos I have on using Cantabile Lite and the full version of Cantabile. I use Performer, which is the full-blown version, and there's an intermediate version also named Solo. They're all fantastic if you are a performing musician. But the Lite version allows you to not only use it with Voicemeeter as a host for effects, but also to host your musical instruments and bring MIDI in and be able to play VST instruments. And there's a lot of free ones that you can use. As long as you have a MIDI keyboard of some kind, that you'd be able to use. Cantabile is a very, very lightweight host that will run any VST just fantastically. Okay, so what can I say? It's definitely worth checking out, but you'll have fun with the Lite version, believe me. Okay, take care and see you around.